Igor Tulchinsky is founder and CEO of WorldQuant LLC, a private investment management complex established in 2007. Before that, he spent 12 years as a statistical arbitrage portfolio manager at Millennium Management LLC. I'll add all the LLCs so you guys understand the designation. Tulchinsky was also a venture capitalist, scientist at AT&T Bell Laboratories, video game programmer, and author. He recently founded WorldQuant University, which will offer the world's first free online accredited master's degree in quantitative finance, as well as WorldQuant Ventures, an angel investment firm focused on technology and data companies. Tulchinsky also established the WorldQuant Foundation, a nonprofit organization focused on making a positive impact through targeted donations worldwide. He holds an MS in computer science from the University of Texas, completed in a record 9 months. A little pressure, guys. And he has an MBA in finance and entrepreneurship from the Wharton School. Please, a warm applause for Igor Tulchinsky.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. I'm checking you out. So are there any questions? Yes. We'll get to that question noted. Any more questions? Yes.
What year was that photo taken?
Sorry, what year?
What year was that photo taken?
Long time ago. You noticed some hair before the hair fell out, probably 30 years ago. So, I guess the 4 things are: you always need to ask questions, you always need to come prepared, you always need to take actions, and you always need to cut losses. Now, money. What is money? It's one of the greatest human inventions. Without it, we'll be trading cows for sheep and whatnot. Money is a store of value. Money is the center of modern civilization. It's a measure of success. It's object of crimes and plots, and it's also the center of a lot of love stories. You name it, money is there. But there's another reason money is very useful. Who can guess what it is? Yes?
Measuring.
It's a measuring tool. Okay. Good. What else? Yes? Political power. Yes. There's a simple explanation that sometimes money comes in form of coins. And the nice thing about a coin is you can flip it. And you can make your decision like that. Now, why would you want to decide things like that? I will get to that. So you flip a coin, heads you do A, tails you do B. You don't like it, you can always reverse. But coins are great, exactly for making decisions. So now let's go to WorldQuant. What is WorldQuant? You're probably wondering, what is WorldQuant? Who can guess what WorldQuant is?
Investment bank.
What?
Investment bank.
Investment bank? Okay. Okay. What else? currency exchange and dollarization. That's another option. Thank you. Okay. No, I would never, if I heard the name WorldQuant, I'd never guess what it is. I thought it was some kind of strange movie or something like that. So WorldQuant is a global trading company that has offices all over the world, including China, India, Israel, Taiwan, Moscow, and other places. Geneva. And what we do is we hire brilliant people all over the world, and we teach them how to trade. And why do we go all over the world? Because brilliant people are spread out everywhere. You go to any country, you find some very smart people. They are not all in New York, they're not all in Philadelphia, they're not in any particular place. So that's why we go out globally. So brilliance is very equally distributed. But opportunity is not equally distributed. So we provide the opportunity, and the people, they provide us the brilliance. So by the end of 2015, we'll have close to 1,000 people between our employees and consultants. And they're all brilliant people, and we pull it all together into one umbrella, and we trade. We try to make money from it, which is the first slide. And this is WorldQuant. WorldQuant University. Who can guess what WorldQuant University is? Yes? It is online, yes. Yes. Teach people how to trade, kind of, yeah. Yes.
Do they teach people computational finance?
Yes, they do. So, what is WorldQuant University, actually? It's based on the premises that talent is global, and it's distributed very equally, almost in statistical fashion. So you have, you go to some country and it has 100 million people, and a certain percentage of those people will be very smart. Usually it's a very small percentage, but still a percentage. And it's the same way everywhere, no matter how you cut and slice and dice things. Some people are smart, some people are not smart, some people are this, some people are not that. So that's point number one. Point number two is that opportunity is not equally distributed. So we try to match up the talent with opportunity. And another factor is that change is accelerating at exponential rates. You all have probably heard of Moore's Law, where the computing power is changing exponentially, and a lot of other things are following the same pattern. Most of physical science is mathematics, physics, chemistry. Things are accelerating, and things are going faster and faster and faster. So they're always changing, but education is not changing. Education is still following the same model it's following hundreds of years ago. You know, you apply to some university, you spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, and in the end, hopefully you get a degree that everybody respects, and hopefully you learn something along the way. But is this really what's happening? So we started the world's first to be accredited online university. It's completely free. It offers master's degree in quantitative finance for now, but we're expanding in other areas. And our focus is to deliver quality education for zero cost to the student. It's very low cost to the university itself. And the point is to make it very scalable. So education should be just as easy as a Google search. You type, I want a PhD in math, and all the information comes out as to what you need to get a PhD in math. That's our motto. And that's what WorldQuant University is. Now, my story, and I'll try to keep it condensed. I was born in Minsk, in the country that no longer exists, the former Soviet Union. It's a good thing it doesn't exist anymore. I lived in 30 different places, including Minsk, Italy, New York, Wichita, Houston, and many, many more. I had 30 different jobs, ranging from dishwasher in a greasy steakhouse, dull greasy actually, to computer camp counselor, to video game programmer, to an oil company, head of IT, to a scientist, to a venture capitalist, to privatization advisor to the Russian government, to stock trader, and to my current job as founder and CEO of WorldQuant. So at age of 11, my parents immigrated to the United States. Our first place was in Queens, where I attended public school 111. Then my father at the time was a viola player, so he moved the family to Richmond, Virginia. And for a brief period of time, I went to, of all things, private Catholic school. And that was fun. But I survived. So then we wound up in Wichita, Kansas. Highlights include, all these experiences include learning how to skate on grease in a steakhouse. Yeah, that's pretty bad. I don't want to spoil your experiences of a steakhouse, but I've seen so many steaks get dropped off on the floor and picked up, and they just put them back on the plate and served. I'm sure it's good for your immune system, though. So some of the experiences include being horrified when a job I had at a computer camp for handicapped kids and adults. The teacher didn't show up first day of class, and I was supposed to be an assistant, and I had to teach the class, so that was something. I also had jobs in dry periods, like working at Target housewares departments, climbing up shelves, getting this kind of plate, that kind of plate, source merchandise. Then I applied and got a job for an oil company in Texas as a programmer. And my job was to write accounting and other systems. Eventually, I received an offer from AT&T Bell Laboratories. They paid for my master's degree, and the caveat was that I had to finish a 2-year program in 1 year, and I worked very hard, slept very little, and I finished it in 9 months, so I can have 3 months vacation at their expense. So then I returned to work at Bell Labs, and soon I discovered that I wasn't happy there. There was too much bureaucracy, too much, not enough happening. 3 lines of code written per day on average, too many committees. So I decided to move forward with my education, and I went went to Wharton School and I received my MBA there. And after Wharton, I worked for, among other places, Interactive Brokers as a trading strategist, Millennium Top Partners as a traders and managing director. And in 2007, I spun off and I formed WorldQuant, and here we are today. So earlier, I spoke about coin flipping. And why is coin flipping important? It's kind of a strange thing to say. Coin flipping is important because generally, planning doesn't work. So when I say that, I don't mean that you shouldn't make plans. I just mean that whatever plan you make today, it's going to be different. So it's important to change plans and to change your ideas all the time. Now, let's go to this slide. Next one. So, what you see here on the lower right is Minsk. You can see it's a nice cold city with plenty of snow. You'll never get too hot there. And that's me at the age of 9, 10, something like that. That's my mother. And the point is, so what was I imagining at this time? I was imagining life in Belarus, which is where Minsk is, and living there forever, getting some job and some friend named Natasha from the yard. Everybody communicated in the yard, so I thought my life would go linearly from that point. I would marry Natasha, and etc., etc. But what percent of this happened? 0. Alright, so now let's go to the next slide. Next slide is age 15. The location is Wichita, Kansas. And the idea of my future was life in Kansas. My job at the time was dishwasher at a steakhouse. Next job was unknown. And I really thought I was going to marry this girl named Kathy from the kitchen. So because when you're in the kitchen together all the time, you know, things just happen. Okay, and percent of plants that came through here, again, is who can guess that? 0. Yeah, exactly. All right, let's go to the next slide. Okay, age 21, location Middletown, New Jersey. All the very fancy flags because it's AT&T Bell Laboratories. So idea of the future is life in New Jersey. Current job AT&T Bell Laboratories. Current job programmer. Current idea of my spouse, somebody named Lila at the time. And who can guess what percent of that actually happened? 0. I'm not very good at predicting things. So, anyway, to sum it up, plans give you a direction, plans cause action. So, plans are good in that respect. But plans don't typically work out, and we have to be able to change and to adapt our plans all the time. As new facts, as new information arrives, you can't be in love with your old plans. You have to respond to your environment. And the environment is changing more and more. It's changing exponentially, actually. So we have to make more and more plans and to change them more and more often. So at the age of almost 30, I finally figured out that didn't really know what I was doing. And there was a pattern of randomness in life and its outcomes. And I saw that there was just an importance of taking action. So I discovered the power of the coin flip, which I showed you earlier. Coin flip is a great computer. So it's very fast. It says yes or it says no. What more do you need? So at the age of 29, I was offered a job. The job was between two unknowns. One was staying at a job with an unknown feature. One was going to a job with an even greater unknown. So I thought I couldn't decide. So flip the coin, make a decision. I flipped the coin, I made the decision. If it feels wrong, to the reverse. So I was 29 years old. And I was stuck in a job I didn't like. So I do what I usually used to do, what I was stuck somewhere I didn't like. I mailed out a few thousand letters to random CEOs of random companies, and through experiments I found out that you have to mail letters to CEOs, not to your friends, and you have to say, CEO, you're so great, and I admire you so much for blank, 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 and the CEOs will fill in the blank. You can be sure of that. So that's what I did. And one of the experiments landed on this desk of who is my partner. But, and we spoke for 3 or 4 months, but I just could not decide what to do. No information. On one hand, you have the current job with a certain future. On the other hand, you have this new, other uncertain possibility with even more uncertain future. So what do you do? So I went to the bathroom. I don't know, it's kind of private. And I flipped the coin. And the coin told me to stay at the current place. So I paid the coin. And I called my partner and I told him, sorry. I didn't tell him about the coin. I said, sorry. But it's only going to work out for this reason, that reason, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But then the conclusion is that it just did not feel right. So I reversed the decision. Right, so what was the value of the coin? The value of the coin was that it allowed me to make a decision in the situation where I just wasn't sure what to do. So you can analyze all day, but in the end you do nothing. So this provided a decision-making framework and a way to do something. So I owe a lot to a coin flip. So why do coin flips work? Coin flips work because life is unpredictable, plans are good, but plans need to change as information arrives. Flipping a coin is a great way to prevent overthinking and to force action. Because in the end, it's all about action. It's all about the actions you take, it's all about the thinking you do. Why is life unpredictable? Because the world is changing exponentially. Change is accelerating, especially in sciences, computer sciences, physics, mathematics. By the time you finish your degree, the world changes, and what you were learning in year 1, it's already almost not relevant. So the question becomes, how do you succeed in this exponentially changing world? Well, one, you think exponentially. And by that I mean the world is changing too fast for any single plan. You change plans. You flip coins if you can't analyze the situation. It's more important to make a decision than to make a right decision. Number two is you take action. Action makes randomness work in your favor. Action makes the environment respond to you. You do something, you get feedback, you get information from that. If you do nothing, you get no information. You can keep thinking forever. You may be right, you may be wrong. Number three is you always have to finish what you start. An action is not an action unless you finish it. You can plan this, you can plan that, but if you don't do it, it's like you did nothing. So you have to finish what you begin. At the same time, a very important thing is, in this very fast-paced world, you have to cut losses. You do something, and it doesn't work the way you think. You have to stop. You can't be in love with your idea. You can't just keep doing it for the sake of doing it, because you thought it was right at that time. Things have changed. You have to stop. You have to cut the loss. You have to move to the next thing. If you don't do that, you're not operating efficiently. So, the conclusion is, I'm sure everybody here is making plans. I'm also very sure that whatever we're planning today is not going to happen exactly as you planned it, if at all. But that's okay, because generally things are changing for the better, and you have to be opportunistic, and you have to adjust yourself for the way things behave. You have to take actions, and you have to realize that it's okay to make plans, but your plans may not work out exactly like you think, but you have to change them all the time as information arrives. And if something doesn't work, you have to cut losses. So that's it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give out the greatest computer that ever existed to everybody in the audience. And the computer is actually a coin, because the coin is nice. You can flip it. It'll tell you yes. It'll tell you no. So, thank you for your attention. The coins are